All right, so we'll call this public hearing to order, and Commissioner Patterson, if you would, please lead us in the application.
They will please stand.
Dear gracious Heavenly Father, we just thank you again for the love you've shown us, Lord, and all the good gifts, mercy, and grace. We are a blessed county because of you. Now, as we start this meeting, Lord, we ask that you be in it, be in every part of it. Lord, help us to have wisdom and help us to do your will, your bidding, Lord, in all we say and do. Thank you again for all these people here, Lord, and good citizens, and we just, again, give you the honor and praise for it all. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
You have joined me in the pledge of allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you all. All right, gentlemen, under new business, we have the proposed fiscal year 2024 budget for Fannin County. Obviously, this is our first public hearing, and so we made, Sherry made some notes, because so I can't hardly write to you, you know, that's one it is, but I mean, I can use these words, but they know it's not me. I'm just kidding.
I do.
Oh, okay. All right, so it's all right, we all read this, and then we'll open up for public commentary, okay? So I am pleased to present the proposed fiscal year 2024 annual budget for Fannin County, which details our sound fiscal operating and capital plans to ensure the continuation of necessary services to the citizens of Fannin County. In the following paragraphs, you'll find the budget highlights of the fiscal year, needs, and recommendations. So the fiscal year 2024 budget highlights the Fannin County 2024 annual operating and capital budgets total $51,520,230. This represents major funds such as the general fund, the SPLOST, capital projects, impact fees, and special revenue funds. Our general fund, the Fannin County 2024 annual operating budget totals $32,805,262, which represents a difference of $7.5 million from fiscal year 2023, with a 30% increase from the 2023 budget of $25,224,355. The general fund includes major functions of government, including law enforcement, public safety, courts, administration, road maintenance, development services, tax assessments and collections, parks, and the library. Additionally included is a 3% and a 10% cost of living adjustments for employees. Revenues have been estimated using a 5-year historical analysis while acknowledging future growth. The fiscal year 2024 general fund budget was balanced with the use of $3,466,395 in order to fund 2 major projects as outlined below. So as we go into these projects, the first one we had an increase of 77.38% from fiscal year 2023 in the Fannin County Board of Elections due to the upcoming 2024 elections. The increase of 251% from fiscal year 2023 in the rec department due to construction of pool, splash pad, and purchase of rec department property. The use of fund balance for both projects is $2.8 million. An increase of 8% from last year's in the risk management due to the rising cost in general liability, which, yeah, that kills us, is what it is. Increase of 45% from last year in the fire department due to capital equipment needs, and a lot of these funds are going to be reimbursed by the USDA grant. You have an increase of 91.93% from last year's budget in the library budget due to the new library construction project. Once again, reimbursed state grants in the amount of $2.685 County match is 1.3, using a portion of fund balance, for this project. On March 21st, 2023, Fannin County citizens approved the continuation of the SPLOS projects that will be funded with SPLOS include roads projects and public work equipment, technology equipment, rec equipment and facilities, public safety facilities, public service equipment, and capital outlay for admin parking, which we hope to get done next year as well. And that's all the notes she gave me.
The rest is up to him.
Yeah. So, gentlemen, before we turn this over to public commentary, y'all have anything, I know you don't think me to read it over, but y'all have anything you'd like to talk about on it before we turn it over?
No, I think it looks good, you know, the front numbers, balance up, and I think they're, very appropriate for what we're trying to do. So I'm good with it.
I'm happy with it too. I think we're blessed. You know, so.
All right, that being said, we'll open up for public commentary. Come on. Oh,
He wants your notes.
you give him a copy? There were some of those big words that I really had trouble with. We'll give another couple of minutes and somebody might have something like. How are you?
I think the biggest thing that we have right now funding is the library coming up, right?
Yeah, the library it's probably the biggest, I'd say.
Yeah, it's probably gonna be the biggest, and then the pool,
Yeah.
the city pool and splash pad.
And we planned on it, so I mean, beyond anything that we can't see, it looks like financially it's pretty good.
I think it is.
It's the 4 million.
Yeah.
But, I think that's the biggest thing right now.
We also budgeted, was it 2 more fire
Fire
stations?
stations.
With the hopes that we can get those accomplished by next year.
We're still looking at animal control too, and
We
the
are.
facility.
That might be a 25 project.
Yeah.
We got a lot on the plate right now.
It's not included in this budget at this time, so.
But we have the 2 fire stations. We have the equipment that we purchased, for fire department. The city park, which, you know, was in that budget.
With the rec
Yeah.
out there at Blue Ridge City.
Library, of course. There's a lot of projects going on, and truly feel that it's gonna benefit the people of Fannin County, you know. If I didn't think it was gonna benefit us, I just wouldn't do it, I mean, honestly. And, if anybody's got any questions on any of those projects, and obviously if you can show me where it don't suit us, then I'll be glad to look at it, but we
Is it all
need
still
it.
debt-free?
I'm sorry?
We're still debt-free?
Debt-free,
That's great.
even afterwards, you know.
That's great.
And that's, in my opinion, you tell me if I'm wrong, the increase in the budget is, hey, we've got to spend it to buy it, you know,
Right.
and,
We have fund balance, so we wanna keep enough to maintain anywhere from 3 to 6 months. But, at the same time, we need to use that to put back into the community to buy equipment and everything and facilities that we need. That's the major focus right now. I feel like that's what the board wants to do, so.
That's great.
Commissioner Cersei, you know, we're thankful and blessed to be in the situation that we are. You know, and, you know, hats off to the former commissioners who, you know, got us to this point, you know, because I know it's,
Hard road.
hard road to hoe, and
wait till
I'm-
6.
I'm just kidding. All right.
And
Accept it.
you might just wanna, reset to the next meetings when it will be adopted,
Yeah,
based upon any changes that the board feels they need to make,
yeah.
so.
So, obviously, you guys got a copy of this.
Right.
Take a look at it, make sure there are no more adjustments or, anything that we overlooked or what, and then it will be adopted at our next regular meeting, which is December the 12th.
Let's see, December 13th? Oh, wait a minute, it tells at the top.
12th
Yeah,
it is.
December 12th. Mhm.
Review it again and amend it if necessary,
Right.
and approve it.
All right. If nothing else, I'll make a motion to adjourn the public hearing and ask for a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, we'll call the meeting to order. We'll start out with our invocation, so Commissioner Patterson.
I'd like to introduce tonight Ken Bennett. He's Associate Pastor, Choir Director, and several other duties at Epworth First Baptist Church, where I go, and happy to have him this evening to lead us in prayer at this time. And if everyone please stand. Ken, come on up and get the mic.
Let's pray. Lord, we just thank you for the opportunity to gather tonight. Thank you for your blessings in our lives. We just pray for this evening and pray for those leading this meeting. Pray for those here. Pray for your guidance, your wisdom as we conduct business in this county. Lord, just lead us and let your Spirit be present among us. We ask it in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you, Ken. Appreciate it.
Commissioner Patterson, please.
Yeah, join me in the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. You may be seated.
Chairman Anthony, if you don't care, I'd like to just do something real quick.
Absolutely.
Start the meeting, I appreciate that. I want to bring everyone's attention, it's time to have a little reflection and gratitude for all the people, last Saturday, we had a bad fire here in town. And we had groups of first responders, firemen, policemen, I guess, all kinds of people joined in to keep this fire, which was very significant. But it was kept to a minimum because of the efforts, the heroic efforts of our men and women that train every day, that work hard every day. And it's time for us to give them a little gratitude. We have, on behalf of the Board of Commissioners, and I want to say just a word quickly. Some people may say, well, why is Mr. Patterson doing it, not Jamie? Jamie leads by example. We're very blessed, and he's a fantastic leader, but he leads by example. He's a volunteer fireman and very humble. I felt like Jamie may just say, Glenn, that's just her job. and it is, but to go over and beyond, it's just something that needs to be recognized and appreciated. We've got some great people here in all different departments in Fannin County. So we want to express our sincere appreciation and gratitude to firefighters, volunteer firefighters, first responders, police, anyone else that had a part, because this was a devastation. And like I say, it could have been a lot worse without the efforts of these people that do it all the time, but it was pretty much, right in the forefront when it's right downtown. We could have had half of our town, in flames, but it was controlled due to their efforts. So I just want to thank them for that, and I want to for everyone that's here that had any part, would you please just stand and let us recognize you. Just please stand, and we want to give you a great round of applause. Commissioner, Thank you very much. We appreciate all of you and what you do every day. Mr. Commissioner Cersei, you want to say a few words? Or
Hey, I'm just proud of the public safety in general. There's a lot of men, the sheriff and even Rob, and we've been in the law enforcement field for a long time together, and we knew from all the training that we've trained these people, and Larry's been around with me for a long time, and it's just good to know. And I've always said Fannin County had some of the best public safety all around. Zach's department, everybody, the ambulance, everything. So Fannin County is very fortunate to have the professionals that they got.
You know, these guys, every day kind of faces harm's way, but when you get a big fire like that right in front of you, it was just a blessing from the good Lord that no one was hurt. But, you know, all this training and everything that they do came, you know, right there. And we had other counties come help us too. But it was just a team effort, and it's just a wonderful thing that y'all do, and we appreciate you so much. Thank you, and I'll turn it back over to our chairman.
Thank you, appreciate it, so will do. And just wanna reiterate just a little bit too. If I saw the numbers right, you know, so we had, I think Fannin County had 50 people that are paid and volunteer. And then we wanna thank our neighbors, you know, in Gilmer County and Union County, because, you know, they played a big role in that as well. But we do have some of the best volunteers, paid and volunteers, in this county, and that's in all aspects. But it really shown I'll say the last 2 or 3 weeks, because there've been fires all over the places, and you know, I give a big shout out to our fire chief and our deputy fire chief, because I hear him all the time on the radio, our EMS director, you know, our sheriff, our chief of police, I'm the same way. When everything happened, everybody come together at once. If there was a difference, which I don't think there was, everything was put aside. Everybody come together in one accord for the betterment of Fannin County. So we're so thankful for you, and we do appreciate you, believe it or not. So, all right, so thank y'all. Good job, thank you.
The leadership of each department,
Yeah.
it was great.
All right, so under unfinished business, we have the approval of the minutes of the November the 14th, 2023 regular scheduled board meeting. Commissioner Patterson, any errors or omissions in the minutes as read?
I have none, Chairman.
Commissioner Cersei?
No, sir.
All right, I will make a motion to approve those minutes and ask for a second.
I second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Number 3, under unfinished business, we have a board discussion action. This item was tabled from the previous meeting on November the 14th, and it's the resolution on the Barnes Chapel and Galloway Bridge. Gentlemen, what this is, it's a resolution to name a bridge, and I'd like to read this, if y'all bear with me again. So again, it's a resolution to name a bridge, and this is a resolution to honor the life of Charles Luther Mathis, and for other purposes, whereas Charles Luther Mathis was a lifelong resident of Fannin County, Georgia, and whereas after retiring from commercial contracting, Luther commenced working for Fannin County, where he served as road superintendent in the Department of Public Works, then known as the Road Department. And whereas, over the course of his time with Fannin County, Luther dedicated many hours to the improvement and expansion of the roads in this county's road system. And whereas individuals working with the county's road department are often called upon to work nights, weekends, and holidays to provide for the safety of the traveling public, and Luther was an individual who led by example. And whereas a compassionate and generous man, Luther will long be remembered for his love of family and community, and will be missed by all who had the great good fortune of knowing him. And whereas it is appropriate for Fannin County to honor the service of one of its own by naming of the bridge at Barnes Chapel and Galloway Road, which spans Little Sugar Creek, the Charles Luther Mathis Memorial Bridge. Gentlemen, that being said, any discussion?
I have none.
Okay.
I have none, Mr. Chairman.
All right, so I will make a motion to adopt this resolution, and naming of the bridge for Charles Luther Mathis, and ask for a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Mr. Henson,
Yes, sir. That's what's gonna
if you
bring
don't
them
care,
up.
can we recognize, I know we've got some of his family back there. Would y'all just stand up for a minute, let
We're
everybody
actually
see?
gonna bring them up, is what we're gonna do.
Oh,
Just
good,
we come on
good,
up,
come on up.
and, if you wanna share some of this, you got a story or two, you're welcome to share it with us. But we thank y'all, and we thank your dad for everything you done for this county.
Yes, sir.
It's,
Exactly.
You know, he is a great father-in-law to me, and I just wanted to do something that people could remember him by. And he built a lot of bridges and done good work, he's a hard worker, and a lot of you know he was a man of few words. But when he talked, he meant what he said. And I just thought this would be a great way for our family and our grandkids and his great-grandkids to remember him by. That's the reason I pursued this. We thank you for doing it.
Appreciate it.
Why don't you both, all three, if you just identify how you was related to him, who you are,
I'm Betty Jo Stanley, I'm his daughter.
I'm JoJo Mathis, his son.
And I'm her husband, so he's my father-in-law. Thank you.
We sure do appreciate y'all.
Thank y'all.
Very much, so thank you.
appreciate it.
There'll be a time that we'll, actually meet down at the bridge, for the, putting
Dedication.
up the dedication, put the sign up and everything. We may do that in warmer weather. Maybe it'll come sooner than later. All right, so moving on to new business. We have a variance request from William Joseph and Jennifer Howell to place a garage, and I believe that has been amended to say 20 feet instead of 15 feet, from the edge of the road. Is there anybody here that opposes this variance? Is anybody here for it? All right. So I think, Jim, we're moving out and looked, obviously it's a pretty steep slope. I know, Mr. Nicholson had went out and, after some looking over, I think you were able to get from 15 to 20 feet, so. So any discussion on this? Mr. Sarson?
No, sir, I'm
I'm
good
good.
with it.
Okay. All right, I will, ask for a motion that we approve the variance request for, William Joseph and Jennifer Howell.
Make that motion.
I'll ask for a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, that brings us down to, number 5. This is a lease agreement between Fannin County and Tarpon Towers. gentleman, Tarpon Towers Two LLC, is the company that actually put the, cell phone tower over at the, by the road department.
Yeah.
And, they had, come to us, actually wanting to buy the property. We actually worked out a long-term agreement with them. Whereas, and Sherry, help me out on this, if you will, I think it's, is it 50 years?
Yep, 50 years.
50
Of
years.
the current revenue that we're getting there.
50 years at $750 a month is what we will be getting out of that, so. So after the 50 years, I'm sure somebody else can decide if they wanna re-up that or not, but. I don't
Go
believe
up
I'll
on the
be
train.
Yeah,
Cars aren't getting away with flying cars, but.
and this also, I believe it gives us an opportunity to get out of this lease. It gives us both, if I'm not mistaken. There's a clause in here, you know, with time, as with most of them, so. Any discussion on this, gentlemen?
No, sir.
I'm good.
All right. I will make a motion to enter in a lease agreement between Fannin County and Tarpon Towers Two LLC. I will make that motion and ask for a second.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, so number 6 is Fannin County Sheriff Dane Kirby regarding the purchasing of equipment.
Me again.
Hey, Marguerite.
So, good evening, everybody. Sherry. We buy vehicles every year to keep our fleet up, normally 5 a year. And the same thing has happened to us this year that has happened to us the last few years is the new vehicles are going up a considerable amount of money, and we're trying to buy in at the cheaper rate. There's still some 23s left down at Wade Ford for $46,124 each. And I have a piece of paper here that I don't think I have any more that had the new price. Do you have that scribbling, Mr. Chairman?
I do
You and
not,
looked
sir.
at that one day. Anyway, it's about a $15,000 savings over the course of 5 vehicles that we would be able to save if we go ahead before the end of the year and buy these 23s. This is kind of a 2024 purchase right at the end of the year at 23. Just trying to get some of the 2023 models before we have to buy the 2024s, which are about $3,000 higher. They went up about $3,000 between the 2-year models. And the 23s will serve us just fine. So the reason we're here today, not after the first of the year, is to try to buy in at that cheaper rate and go ahead and get them secured.
Dane, are we getting 46, or did
Excuse
you
me?
jump, is the price still 46?
It is, yeah, this is the rate we'll buy at. They go up to about 49 something in 2024.
Okay.
Yeah, and I had that figure somewhere, but I didn't provide it to y'all tonight. But that's rough figures. That's pretty close in the $3,000 range each.
How many total vehicles you look at?
5. There's 4 in 1. There's 4 solid white ones that will turn into marked uniform patrol cars like you see all the time.
Yeah,
And then one of them will be a plain car for an acting car.
okay.
So it's 4 in 1, and all the equipment's listed there. And I've got all the window stickers here and the exact communication equipment cost and everything like that, but it's just summarized in the sheet that I gave you to keep you from having to go through all these little bitty numbers. I figured you might have forgot your glasses.
Well, my wife made me bring them.
We're getting better.
Then the chairman and a couple other people had a meeting in his office the other day. We were sitting there looking at all these little bitty figures on this piece of paper. There wasn't but one pair of glasses between us. We had to pass it around.
That is what it is.
Yeah, we laughed at ourselves about that. Anyway, I'll be glad to answer any questions if y'all have any, but, this is an ARPA request, is what this is, out of ARPA funds, to keep us from having to do it out of our budget. $269,000 total.
I guess you can, ready to be picked up, ain't they?
They're holding them for us.
Okay.
So you'll be able to get them January?
We'll be able to get them quicker than that. They're holding us. I'm not gonna make any commitments to anybody until it comes through this board first. So
I got
they're just holding us until after,
That's
holding
good.
them for us until after tonight.
That's good.
Yeah. And if y'all say no, I'll tell them sell them.
And that's how the,
American Rescue Funds.
okay.
So that also gives you, by doing this, that would give you some more pool cars, which we're down to.
We're down pretty slim on some of those, and, the ones that are over there now will be, replaced by ones that are in better shape, and then y'all will sell the ones that are no longer in service when y'all have one of your big equipment sales.
You hear that, Zach?
Something else for Zach to have to do.
Mr. Searcy, any?
No, man, I mean, it's saving the county. I mean, it's, cause I know what he's talking about.
It's almost like somebody else's money we're spending, in a way.
Yeah, but I mean, when you stop, I mean, things have went up, and I know, about these cars and.
2 years ago, we was paying $33,300.
Yeah, well, actually, yeah, it was,
They've gone up $13,000 in 2 years.
yeah, and they're not gonna stop.
They're not gonna go back down.
So I think you ought to jump on it. I mean,
Mr. Patterson?
No, I think it's good. I know we've had trouble sometimes even getting cars.
Well, that's the
Period.
thing, used to, you'd bid out, you'd give this a chance, and you'd give that a chance, and now anymore, you can't do that, because finding them is the hard part. It really is.
It is.
Just absolutely finding what you need is a struggle.
maybe Chief back there, when I was there, we had troubles finding them, but yeah, that's a good deal. And those are the SUVs now.
They are, that's about all they make anymore.
Okay,
They don't
yeah.
even, I don't think they even offer the cars anymore.
I ain't working up.
All right, well, that being said, no more discussion. I'll make a motion, we purchase 5 vehicles, equivalent, to go with them, the graphics, in the amount of $269,672 out of the ARPA funds, and I'll ask for a second.
A second.
All in favor?
Uh,
Thanks, sir.
Thank y'all.
All right, so number 7, on the agenda, we have, board discussion action, we have our Fannin County Recreation Director Eddie O'Neill regarding refinishing the rec department floor.
Yeah, it's time to refinish the flooring at the rec center, all 4 courts. This will be out of my budget item of 2024, but I've actually got them scheduled to come January 9th, so I'll request that check at that time. So Prater's Flooring, who's always done our floors, the quote to refinish all 4 courts is $16,884.
Raiders local in,
And they're out of Chattanooga.
Chattanooga.
Yeah, the crew they sent, it was a bigger crew out of Chattanooga.
That's all the floors in?
That's all 4, yeah, we are down to hardwood. We do them about every other year. That's the best we can get out of it. Wear and tear.
Well, we're glad people's utilizing it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Every day.
that's a good thing. We see the numbers that people that, come to the rec department, and it seems like it's gaining momentum. We got a lot more people enjoying the rec
And that's good.
and getting out and enjoying life a little bit. Thankful for that. Gentlemen, any discussion?
Mm-hmm.
I have none.
All right, I'll, make a motion that we approve $16,884, to refinish the rec department floors, be done in January out of 2024 budget.
January 9th.
I'll make that motion, ask for a second.
I second.
All in favor?
too is our youth football helmets are through 8 seasons are out of date, they won't OSHA certify them. So we need to replace that stock, which I placed in the 2024 budget also, for 150 youth helmets for $20,986.98 to Rydell.
Give me that number again.
$20,986.98.
That's 150 helmets.
Yes, sir.
It's not a bad price. I just want, no, not for 150 of them.
Well, obviously, we're gonna need them since OSHA won't approve the other ones.
Yeah, they won't OSHA certify them, but we'll lose them all. If we, all we would do is pay to refurbish something, they're gonna kick out.
Mr. Patrick, you got any?
I don't.
All right. Anything?
No, sir.
All right. I'll ask for a motion to approve $20,986.98 to 550 helmets to replace the outdated ones. I'll ask for that motion.
I'll make a motion.
Ask for a second.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Thank you, sir.
Eddie, real quick, I'm gonna tell you, went over at the park the other day, that's coming along good. That cooler, it's gonna be nice.
Weather has blessed us, we're making good progress.
It's gonna be nice.
It's gonna be really nice.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
All right, so number 8, we have our Fannin County Finance Director, Terry Walker, with a recommendation of the fiscal year 2023 budget amendment.
Yes, I would like to make the recommendation to the Board of Commissioners at this time. There are a couple of departments that are over budget due to some of the big purchases that we've made, due to grants that we've gotten, the USDA grant for some of the fire equipment, breathing apparatuses, and the pumpers. That is actually a grant that we matched. It was 1.7, but we will be getting 1.2 of that back into the budget at some point when that equipment is delivered to us. So, but we had to pay for that up front. So, with the fire services, we'll need to amend that budget. Also, the recreation, we actually had some purchases there as far as the city pool. Eddie had a big purchase trying to get the concrete poured before all the cold weather so we could stay on schedule. So we went ahead and paid that invoice to get that done. Of course, we paid for the rec property out there also. So we will amend that budget to reflect. And a couple of other smaller ones, the central supply was over a little bit, so I went ahead and amended that. And environmental monitoring, some of that cost was a little bit more this year. So those are the two that we were trying to get amended, that we knew were definitely over. We have to do this to stay in compliance. We want to be legal with our budget levels that we go through. So the total revenues and the total expenditures that we're amending is $2,460,838.59. So that would be the recommended amount that we will amend these budgets and the revenues.
Again, those were expenditures that we paid out.
Right, we had to
And
pay
the
those
rest will
out,
be coming back in.
and that money will be coming back in, so. When I talk about, like, some of the recreation, revenues were a little bit more, were over what we had forecasted that they would be. So I was able to offset the recs with some of that money, the revenue portion there. Of course, the, fire services will be getting that revenue back in, so we just have to be legal at the end of the year with our expenditures and our revenues matching. So it all worked out great with the way we forecasted and anticipated, and we've received more revenues to offset those expenditures at the time too, so. And that increased the, revenues, the amended budget to $42,207,702, so.
Second it.
All in favor?
Wow.
All right, so that brings us down to public commentary. If anybody would like to come up and talk, please do so, come up to the podium, tell us your name, and tell us what's on your mind.
Y'all are in such a generous mood tonight, so I'm so glad I came. And I'm probably at the wrong meeting. I think I should have been at that hearing earlier. I didn't know there was a budget hearing, or I didn't hear then. I just have a couple of questions, about animal control, surprise, surprise. I saw on Facebook a fundraiser that was being put on by the county so that people could donate and the money would go into the county. And it kind of alarmed me a little bit, because I felt like the first wording of it, I think they've switched it now, but I have a copy of the first time it went out. It sounded like they needed money for the care of the animals, basically. And I have to say, I'm thankful for the people who are over there, because they do love the animals and they want to take good care of them, obviously. And I appreciate that very much. But I kind of took a step back. I'm a little alarmed that we're putting out a fundraiser to take care of the animals, because I think that's the job of animal control. I think that's the cost of doing business. You're mandated by the state to provide humane care. So I think that I'm puzzled by that, because I believe animal control falls under public safety, which would also have access to the SPLOST funds. Is that not correct? And I know you've upped the budget at animal control. I watch all that, and I appreciate that. I mean, we've come a long way, baby, no doubt about it.
I think so.
But I just think, I was puzzled by that. I wanted somebody to explain to me why animal control is having to, and I'm not faulting them, I appreciate them.
Yeah.
It's the opposite, because I think they're really, trying to get all those injured and sick dogs into the vet as soon as they can, but I wonder why they're having to fundraise to do that.
Can I say something? Can you explain it? 'Cause I know you're gonna explain it.
I want you to,
I mean,
I feel so stupid.
But I just
I don't
wanna,
know.
I just wanna say something, from being a chief, just like that's public safety too.
Yeah, of course.
Even though the city had to give us money to operate, we still, there would be, and I'm not saying, you probably can explain it better, Luke, you're out there, but when I was chief, I would try to have some kind of fundraisers if we wanted to better, if we had equipment that we wanted to buy that would probably be hard to bring before a board or whatever, but or just saying. But if we wanted to make our stuff better,
Like extras. kind of
yeah,
like
instead of, I'm just saying that, I don't know what that fundraiser was about, but I'm just telling you
Well, I
how
can
I
read
used
it
to
to
do.
you, I have it, I can read it to you, I would have, do y'all not have to approve that when it goes out on the county,
I mean, we constantly
see
do
I
that.
had no idea
whatever?
about it.
You know,
Who's
when,
putting it on?
I don't know, I guess animal control, and that's okay, they're trying, listen, they are trying. And I'm not faulting them at all, I appreciate that, but I think that I can see doing fundraisers for extra things, but it would appear to me, since you're mandated by the state to take care of these animals, when they come in, you have to provide humane care. And that may
And
be.
they do
I
that.
think we do that.
Well, they do, but it's about going to the vet, getting these dogs that come in with things. And I noticed that our medical budget for next year, and I'm at the wrong meeting, so go ahead and throw me out, is a little, the line item for animal medical is a little last year, but yet they're trying to have a fundraiser here at the end of the year. I don't understand.
So
I'm
as
trying to
you
make
know,
sense of it.
as you know, spay and neuters, we had a deal worked out, okay, with a group, and unfortunately, that didn't work out.
Which is very sad.
Yes, it is. And, so, you know how much those spay and neuters cost now, right? I mean,
I
they're just,
know that, and
it's
it was-
amazing.
It is
So,
terrible.
what we were, and again, I didn't know they were having a fundraiser until you just told me, but in my mind, what they were trying to do is, hey, I'm looking at a budget here, I may be over budget, if I can get enough to get some of these other dogs done, then maybe that's what they're trying to do.
So,
we'd
so
have to
the
get with
spay and
Teresa
neuter, I can kind of
those guys.
see how that would be
So-
considered an extra.
So,
You know, they
it was
they
our
don't have
goal.
to do that.
it was our goal, and when we had everything worked out, it was great. But it was our goal that
We'll work
everything
on
that come
getting
in.
that back in
yeah,
place.
Everything that come in after the hold period, before an animal left animal control, it would be spay or neuter. That was our goal once we got into office here.
Right.
And unfortunately, that didn't work out. However, I think Teresa has worked with another facility that may be able to work with us on this. So we looked at that going into next year's budget, which was actually less than
I noticed
what we had
that.
it worked out. So, but what I'm saying is, it was the price that
Oh,
they'll
was
stick to
less
this
than-
price. It'll be a whole lot less.
Okay.
And we based it on the amount of dogs that we had taken in, in the last X amount of years. That's kind of a guesstimate, if you will. So we went off that, but the only thing that I can think is that's what they done before was, hey, we're over budget or fixing to be over budget in this line. If we can get that to help the spay and neuters, then so be it.
If it was for that,
Yeah,
and
and that's what I
not for
need to
sick
find
or
out.
injured
Yeah,
or
and
whatever.
that's what I need to find out.
And if you do those space and neuters, then I'll just interject this, you didn't ask for it, but that's seed money, right? In other words, if somebody takes one of those spayed or neutered animals, they're gonna pay for that spay or neuter,
That
and
is
then
the goal.
that gets your seed money going, so then you can just, it starts rolling. We did that in rescue, that's
Yeah.
how we did it, you know.
That's
You
the
start
goal.
out, you spay them, and then the money just keeps rolling to spay the next, spay or neuter the next one.
That's our goal.
You're gonna get there.
Well, we hope
We're
so.
gonna get there.
Well,
Okay, well, but now, one more thing.
Mhm,
Animal control does fall under public safety.
mhm.
So you probably spent SPOS money already, maybe on the van, did you?
We did.
Okay,
Mhm.
so that's good. If something, major, whatever, then they would have the option to at least ask. And y'all are so generous,
sure.
where are they? But, okay, well, it just gets me about the fundraiser. I'll shoot it to you, how about that? I'll send it, I just
Yeah.
saved it, and then you'll kind of know. I know y'all get tired of those text messages, but, I'll send it to you so you can see. But anyway, I want it to roll good for those animals.
We
And
want it to
we
roll
finally
good
got
too,
people
trust me.
over there that I think love them.
Yeah, they do.
Mhm.
I honestly believe they do.
So, anyway, okay, thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Thank you for your time tonight. You'll have to forgive me, I'm running on caffeine and leftover Halloween candy.
Got any?
Run down to Atlanta today. Folks, I came here to talk to you about the tourist trade and the coroner's office and how they interact with each other. If you're trying to find that nexus in your brain right now, so am I. So what I would like to ask, and we may have to put me on some sort of meeting somewhere at some other time, I would like to ask about maybe getting a new coroner's office. The one we have downtown has been suitable for the last few years, but the tourist industry, the population in Fannin County has picked up quite a bit. I will tell you that I have seen quite a few people look at us kind of funny as we're loading and unloading because they're fixing to go over to a restaurant and have something to eat. I think I saved somebody $50 today because I was unloading and he saw me as he was getting out of his car in our parking area, and he turned around, got back in his car and left. I'm not sure if our restaurant lost out on a meal there or not, but I've seen kids have their parents parents avert their eyes as we were doing our job. The morgue itself can hold 4. I have one in there right now. And by the way, I'm sorry, I should have prefaced this. Becky knows I'm here.
I started to ask you, where's the coroner at?
She knows I'm here. I raised these concerns with her and asked her if I could come talk to y'all, and she told me I could. That was today, so I did not have a chance to prepare anything. So I'm just basically winging it. So if y'all could give me some guidance on what you would like for us to do to help move this along, if that's possible. I've heard rumors that y'all had something in consideration for a little while, but then I heard it got shot down. I'm not sure what the status is on that, if there is one.
I've not heard nothing.
I really hadn't as of
Okay.
prior to this, but
So let me ask you, so basically it's because restaurants are nearby, or do you have some more reasons?
I do have a couple more reasons. Another reason is that like I was telling you, we already have one in there right now, a Vietnam veteran who we're trying to find next of kin, and it's becoming very difficult. So we're trying to figure out how we're going to deal with her. She was a Women's Army Corps service member in Vietnam, so very unique.
So you're looking at storage?
We're looking at storage, yes, sir. We need to double our capacity. If somebody falls in Fannin, we go out. We went on the last one, we're gonna go out on the next one. We're gonna continue to go out, we're gonna continue to serve our community. What we need is the resources and the space to do our job efficiently, out of the public eye if possible. I'm not saying that we are embarrassed to do what we do, we're not. We were in the parade 2 nights ago.
Sorry.
Yeah, had a lot of fun. Had a family of tourists that kind of looked at the van and they kind of blanched a little bit. And I was driving slow enough I could have a little conversation with them, and I had to tell them, listen, Fannin County Coroner's Office has to be on high alert during the holidays ever since Grandma got ran over by a reindeer. So we try to make it a little bit lighter. We try to have a little fun with it, but the fact of the matter is, the tourist trade here knows we're there. They stop and take their pictures in front of the office, in front of our sign. I really don't know how to feel about that. It's a little off-putting at some point. But we do need to increase our space. Fannin County's not getting smaller, and people that fall are becoming more frequent. So those things are for your consideration, and if we can't do anything immediately about that, maybe we can do something about the signage on the wall of the coroner's office and make that say coroner's office parking only, because we actually had to tow a vehicle after the parade was over because they were literally parked where the coroner's van goes.
I thought we had Zach, I thought there was a sign down there that says government parking only.
employee parking.
Yeah, it says government employee parking, but it doesn't say specifically coroner. We have 4 deputy coroners plus Becky.
But not at one time. You have 2 vehicles
Yes.
plus the coroner yourself. I mean,
Correct. Yeah, we have 2
One is
coroner's vehicles, which is a good thing because we are 1 deer strike away from having to tow
Yeah.
somebody in the back of my pickup truck.
why is that?
Well, it depends. If one of the vans is down, then we got 1 left, and if we have to drive down to Atlanta, it's gone all day.
One of them's brand new, ain't it?
Yes, sir. That's normally the one we take down to Atlanta because it's reliable.
Okay.
I'm not petitioning for a new van. I'm petitioning for better signage.
You take a new van too, right?
I would love a new van, another new van. The bottom line is, people do park in our parking spots, and a lot of them are tourists, and I hate to have to tow a tourist vehicle. I really do, because it's bad for business, for the town and the county. So we get some better signage that says coroner's parking only, because there are times when we are all for there, and there's only room for 3 vehicles to park there.
Well, we can do that, can't we?
Yeah, Zach, you can get that done, can't you?
All right, fair enough. And if y'all need anything from me, if you need me to do some studies or write write a white paper or something like that regarding a new space, let me know, I'll do whatever, we need to do to get that all rolling.
We might can look at some, you know, in the future, but as of right, I mean, right now, we got a lot of other buildings going up too, though. I mean, we can look around.
You know, we necessarily don't need a new building. I mean, if there's an old steel building with a garage door in it, that we can put a cooler in there that can handle, 8.
Yeah, but it's gotta be secured,
Yes, sir, it does.
so that finding something that's secured,
But if you look at our office right now, the only security is a one key on a door, just like.
but
your
it's in
house.
town though, next
It is
to
in town.
apartments, so that, I mean, we gotta find something that would be secured.
Yeah, we were right beside the police station.
And sheriff's department,
Yeah.
so, but I mean, I understand what he's saying.
I mean, anything even close to a fire department that's manned 24 hours would work.
Yeah, that'd probably be reasonable.
We'll see what we can figure out.
All right.
It's, I know we talked about building some more. Let me see what that might look like.
All right. And on behalf of the coroner's office, I thank you for your time.
Thank you.
We appreciate you.
Thank you.
Appreciate what you do for us.
Thank you.
I hope we don't have to call you on that.
We hope we don't have to get called out on anybody, but it happens.
Anyone else? Yes, ma'am?
Come on and
We're not a
join me.
tag team, I
No, we're not,
promise.
yes, we're not. This was totally two different things. My name is Holly Troxel. I had spoken a couple of years ago, to y'all about some election integrity, and everybody else is talking about they wanna spend money, we can save money. So, I wanna give you a couple of things if it's okay. I know it looks like a big package. It's just some things that I'd like for you to review, just look at whenever y'all just have all your time available. There's different things to look at that will just, kind of give you some information about election integrity. I shared some with y'all the last time. Thank you. And when I say, election integrity, so let me just go back. I gave y'all some information before to review and, what was current at the time. Since then, we've had 2 years, pass. And at that time, I told you about, the voting machines, and I gave you some things there to review. But I told you I wanted to identify the areas that, we can help. I wanted solutions. I didn't want to just complain about the issues that we have. Let's find what I can do and what we can do to help out. So, like cleaning up voter rolls, I said, I'd come back later at a later date and try to give you more information as I learned more. Since then, I've worked as a poll worker in our polls. I've learned more about the elections process. I've worked with several different election integrity groups. I've worked with other local Fannin residents to help clean up the voter rolls. And some of them were even sitting in this room tonight. And by the way, just so y'all know, Fannin County is absolutely the best county when it comes to voter rolls and election just processes and how they handle it. Some of the top data analysts that have been reviewing data throughout the state of Georgia have praised Fannin County as being one of the cleanest voter rolls. So I'm proud to say every time somebody says that, I'm like, yay, that's our county.
Can I
So,
stop you just for a minute?
yes.
Do they do every county that way in the state of Georgia? Do they?
For what way?
look- Yes, for seeing if they're good, excellent, or poor
Well,
in voting standards, I guess.
So there have been different, ever since the 2020 election when things were just chaotic, you've had different election integrity groups and data analysts that have requested different counties. Some of them have requested all counties, and they've been doing analysis of different ones they thought would be issues or problems.
What were their findings?
And there's been, in some of that information that I gave you, some of the links that I gave you, they have some of that information. I don't have it all written down because I was trying to stay within that 5 minutes. That's why I gave you the packet.
I got you.
But Fannin is really great. However, the problem that we have is that our voter rolls, obviously, if you know that state has them, Eric runs so you still have sometimes very older, ineligible voters still on the rolls. Like, for instance, I'm working on my precinct only right now, which is Hemptown. Husband and wife sold their home in 2019, moved to Florida. They're still on a 2023 list. A person moved out of the county in 2020, still on the list. Person moved out of the state in 2018, still on the list. Voters who hadn't voted since 2014 and 2016, still on the list. Now, our ladies do a phenomenal job here, but a lot of that, taking them off the list when they move, and it relates, and that goes to the state. They do a lot of that. Unless someone specifically tells our ladies, hey, I'm moving, take me off the list, they won't know that. And the state and Eric that they have are supposed to be doing a job keeping it up. But this is where I feel like, and a lot of the people in the election integrities feel, if we could have a local database where we can keep up with our local people. I mean, Marianne knows everybody. She's fantastic. I love her. So the goal here is to reduce those that are sitting on the list as ineligible. If you look back on some of those that I have, like Clinton Curtis and other ones, they said that our machines can be hacked and the voter rolls can be manipulated. Kim Brooks shows that and proves that in her videos that she has. If these voters are sitting on there for like years, from last voting 2014, 2016, that just leaves it open for manipulation. Someone to change up the rows, and she shows you how that happens in there. So what I would say, and that I've learned in the past 2 years, is machines and including the tabulators need to go. We need to go to paper ballots. And there are some studies, I don't have that here, but I will be happy to find it for you, where you can actually save money by going to the paper ballots, back to paper ballots like it used to be, and get rid of the voting machines. Voter rolls being also controlled locally, so you're not having to pay Eric for all those renewed fees. Legislation needs to be passed. Of course, that is at the state level, and we're working on that. But as far as election machines, as far as the authority to decide those, if y'all will look at the Georgia Code 21, 2, 320, and 321, it does give county commissioners authority. So if y'all will look at that, my desire was then and now about protecting every person's right to vote, but not just to protect that vote, but also for their vote to be counted as cast. And right now, I think most people don't feel confident that the vote's being counted as cast, or that it's not being manipulated some way. So to keep our republic, I think part of that would be to secure elections at the local level. And the other thing I'd like to say with regard to that is anything we can do to keep it at the local level or closer to the local level, then that will keep our elections more secure. So if y'all would please just look over all that information, look at those videos, and look at some of the data that those data analysts like Kim Brooks puts out. I think it'll be eye-opening to you. And I'm going to continue to work on the voter rolls. I'm working with the elections office. They know I'm working on it. I'm going to be meeting with them regularly if I can. And I want to give you this one last thought before I go. I don't know if I'm going over. You can tell me to stop. In Georgia, we have 2,656 precincts. You hear people all the time say, there's always a few, fraudulent votes here and there, or fraudulent ineligible voters. Well, if each precinct has only 5 ineligible voters, that's 13,280 ineligible voters. Now, keep in mind, if we have any bad actors that can manipulate or hack machines, then you're looking at the difference in a 2020 election, presidential election, that was won in 2020 by only 11,779 votes. So the cleaner we can get our voter rolls, the more secure we can get and keep everything local, then the less chance of having the issues with the manipulation. And that's all I have.
Well, I have just a couple of questions.
Yes, sir.
And then we'll go, but, so these folks haven't voted since 2014, 2016. So we reaching back out to them to see if they're interested in voting at all? Or are we just?
Yes,
Are
sir.
we giving them an opportunity to get back on the
Okay.
roll, or are we just taking them off?
So, the state took over a lot of stuff, that, I think locally they used to do here. But the ERIC, the people who run ERIC, who controls the whole database in the state of Georgia, they are supposed to reach out, send a confirmation, and Mary Ann and others in the election could probably tell greater detail than I can, but they send out a confirmation to them. Usually they'll say, hey, you know, trying to get contact, you know, did you move or whatever. And sometimes that confirmation letter will be sent back. Sometimes people just ignore it and throw it away. So there is a certain amount of time that they will take someone off a roll, but typically it's 2 general election cycles. Y'all, that's 8 years. If we have someone on the rolls for 8 years and there's a bad actor that knows how to manipulate the rolls, or if they know, like for instance, I know this person moved to Florida. I mean, because I have access to the rolls from Georgia, right? So I know they moved to Florida. Someone with bad intentions know the same thing. So how do we know? They're not saying, well, they're in Florida, so they're going to vote in Florida, so we're going to vote or mail in an absentee ballot or whatever it may be here in Fannin County. So
Now,
it's
some of
possible.
those that move away though, still vote here.
Are you talking about when they move away?
Yeah.
They're not supposed to, wherever their residence is. They cannot have, if their homestead exemption is in Florida and they have a second home here, they are not allowed to register or vote here.
Or vice versa?
Right, wherever their homestead
How come the other
is.
states don't stop it then?
There is not a good communication between states, and that's part of the problem. You wouldn't, it's a bad system. The process is
It
terrible.
seems like if you could have a computer system to tell you that there's so many people, John Doe's registered in Fannin County, and say John Doe moves away, and he goes to register in Texas, even though he did tell Fannin County he was leaving, when he goes to register, it seems like they would have come up, the minds to be would have come up with a way that you could tell it once you put him in to register in Texas or wherever, that, hey, you're registered in Fannin County.
Yes, sir, you would think so.
That would be awesome.
It would be awesome.
That's the way it would be simple.
I mean, a lottery, they
That
can
would be
tell you
simple.
exactly what store and where a lottery winner won, but
I
why we
mean-
can't do this.
Because if you can run somebody's license and say, hey, you have a license in Florida,
Correct.
you can't, it's illegal to maintain 2
Correct.
licenses.
That's a whole, and now that you brought up license, when you watch Kim Brooks' video, if you will please watch that, she has proven that, they are taking even where you know how you can go to get your license renewed, and they
They
can
do it by mail
register
now.
they can register you for your, voter.
Mhm.
There are duplicates being submitted, registrations for voters, duplicates are happening. Also, if there's a difference in a name, and then there have even been, she is finding out some fraudulent forms being sent out as well. So,
But also, you talk about the people that have not voted in 2 cycles. Last year, I know that the people that wanted everybody to vote, they would go up to a voting precinct and well, I don't have you on the list, but they still let them vote. So, the poll workers should be going, no, but they're getting the okay from the aboves to let these people vote, even though they're not on the list.
That is correct. Unfortunately, the state puts a lot of pressure on the local governments to, and the elections office to do this regardless.
Because they're not going by the law.
Yes, and so the reason why I say if we keep it more locally, if we had our local database, if we had everything local, I can guarantee you that most of the people coming into Hemptown, I'm gonna know them, they're my neighbors, you know? And so it's a better, to me, I believe it's a much better option for all of us. And if y'all even have time, talk to the elections office, ask them about the machines. I know the machines sometimes break down, they are late getting started, they're a headache.
They're numbered, the ballots are numbered, ain't they? I mean, they're numbered.
The ballots?
Yeah, when you get your card, I mean, I've noticed that, you know, you can't, I still believe that they can tell you how you vote. I mean, you get a card, and then you get this ballot, and then you slide that ballot in. To me, it just, I like the old way of voting, where I used to go in there and pull the lever myself.
Yes, so I'd like to correct you, that's really not a ballot. That is actually a receipt,
Well, don't tell us it's a ballot.
It's supposed to be a I mean, they'll tell you it's your ballot, go put your ballot in there, but it's actually a receipt of what you supposedly put on the touch screen. But with a QR code, you don't know what a QR code says. I don't know I can't read a QR code, and our Georgia law says you have to have a readable ballot. So that is breaking the law right there, and there's been a lot of people filing suits with regard to that with the state about that. So far,
Because people want to stay in office.
yes. So it's a battle, but if we can take it to a local level and can make some changes, and they have already. The city of Milton has changed to paper ballots. There's been a couple other places that have changed to paper ballots, and they've done it with success and saved money. And I think that we could do it.
And
well.
how they counting those ballots? Do they do it by hand, or do they do it by machine?
Now, that's a good question, I have to find out, but I believe it was all about paper ballots and hand counting.
Hand counting, I'd trust.
So, yes.
Machine counting, I wouldn't trust.
I agree, because the tabulators,
That's right, well, I'd rather take somebody and swear them in to count, and then, cause, you know, that's, to me, I mean.
Again, go back and look at that video with Clinton Eugene Curtis. There's two videos, one that he testified before Congress in 2004, and then he had a follow-up interview with Mike Lindell, because Mike Lindell saw it and said, I've got to interview this guy. He shows how you can, his algorithm, he's the one that created it. You can go and touch screen, and as you touch it, he said even the poll workers won't know that it changed it. If you punch that button for Mickey Mouse, it's going to count Donald Duck. And you won't know it, and the poll workers won't know it. So even though it comes out and you see that you voted for Donald, Mickey Mouse here, that QR code, you don't know what it says. It could be saying Donald Duck. So it's real important that we look at this. We've got a huge election coming up in 2024, and I'd love to see some changes before then. I will be happy to help. I'd be happy to get involved. I know that we've got a whole bunch of people that will be happy to help whatever we can do to make it happen.
Can I add one little thing to what she was saying? You were asking about if you find these people and all, do you give them a chance to stay on or not? What we've been doing so far is only the people that, you know, like on the change of dress form list or something like that. If we find out they still live here, we're not even putting them in question of whether or not they can, you know, still stay on the rolls or not. It's just the people that move out of town, and you'll see in one of those videos where we had people that were inactive here, and they, you know, they didn't vote here, but once everything got to the, Secretary of State's office, they magically went on the rolls, they had voted, and then a few days later, they came back off the rolls, so they're still inactive, but they did vote. And there's proof of that in some of that, what she's showing you.
He's talking about Kim Brooks. When you see Right the Vote, Kim Brooks' video, she shows where before the election, they're inactive, right? Right before the election, like right up to it, they become active and vote in it, and then afterwards, a little bit later, they're inactive again. So someone is manipulating the roles.
Well, how do you keep, this is what gets me, there was one guy, I wish I'd knew him when I was running, he voted 5 times in 5 different places. I mean, I could've got 5 more
Well, it
votes.
was rough.
I don't know. No, I mean, I saw that on the news where he went to 2 different counties and voted 3 times in one on the same day, and twice in another county.
I would like to just throw out, if y'all want to do, like another public meeting or more detailed, and maybe even I can bring in some of the actual data analysts that know more than me, I'll be happy to do that. Just let me know, and.
It's just cheating the people. I mean,
Correct.
it's a shame that you can't,
I wanna know that my vote is counted as cast.
that's why people don't vote. It's 'cause
Well,
they.
We're telling everybody vote,
Oh,
vote,
I do
vote,
too.
vote. Even though we have these issues, everybody has to vote.
Yeah. Well, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you. Anyone else? All right, no one else will close public commentary. Gentlemen, do you have a need for, executive session?
I don't know, Chairman.
No.
Well, look at him. That being said, I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion.
All right. You
I'll second it.
All in favor?